The time has come, my big, beautiful bastards. The time has come to start our preparation for the EX294 exam. This is a highly requested video that I've been getting, so I deliver. So this is the first video. This is going to be most likely detached from the main video because not everybody wants to go through this. They want to go right to the point, and that's fine. So this is the intro video for the EX294 series of videos and main video. This is going to be like the usual. I'm going to make different videos for each task and one video with the whole compilation for your viewing pleasure. All right. So basically this is going to be our scenario. We're going to be over here. I just drooled myself. Jesus. We're going to be over here where we're going to be doing all the comment stuff and all of that good stuff. And you're going to be right here where we review our PDF with the things. I have my PDF open on one screen and the master file open in the other, so I can make quick fixes as we go. I reviewed all of this as best as I can, but as we progress, usually updates are needed. So since you are already here, I'm here in the small form factor in the corner because you don't need to see me, you just need to see the stuff and hear my voice. So let's do the quick review like we always do of the exam contents. And in summary, this is if this is wrong, let me know in the comments so I can make this better. But as far as I know at this point, it's a 4-hour exam, so it's one of the big ones, okay? So it's going to take some time to do. I would say it's harder than the EX200. Yes, it is much harder. That's why it's a 4-hour exam. Hence the EX200 is 3-hour. If you are experienced enough in the EX200, you can actually do it in much less time. This one, I don't think you can. But maybe you have more experience than I do, and you can do it much better than I do, which I have no doubts that you can. So in summary, this is a new scene setup. So let's see if everything is working as expected, and I think and looks like it is. It has a little bit of a delay, but it's fine for this type of content. So it's going to be a 4-hour exam. Okay, so it's going to be a 4-hour exam, like I just said. It can be remote or in a training center, which means that you can do it at home or in a training center. I have spoken all about this, but for the ones who don't know that, very shortly, you can schedule this to do it at home. You just need to have they're going to send you the instructions, and they're going to need to format a pen drive with a specific and special Fedora distro that is used for the exam. You log in with your Red Hat account and you're off to the races. You just need to boot that pen, and you just not boot the pen, but build the pen and boot the system with that pen, and you are off to the races. It just presents you immediately with the login screen, and you just follow along the instructions. It's quite easy. You just need to have a mic. You are not allowed to have headphones, and you need to have an external camera so you can pan the camera around for it so they can see your environment. Only one screen, which means that if you are using a laptop, you need to close the laptop lid, so we cannot have the external monitor and the laptop monitor opened at the same time. Mic, no headphones. It needs to be a quiet room. You cannot speak or move your mouth, and the room needs to be very simple, like a bathroom or kitchen, where you have no gear around you. When I do exams, I just cannot do it here because it's just way too tech crowded. So I need to go to my kitchen usually, and that's fine. The living room, if you have a TV there, they ask you to cover that with a blanket or something. So just be in a very clean or a bedroom, it's also fine. You cannot be surrounded by other screens or other tech or cameras. You get what I mean. In the exam, you'll have one workstation control node and multiple managed hosts. I don't remember exactly how many managed hosts. Here I'm going to use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 managed hosts, but in the exam there may be fewer, but for me to be safe, I'm using all of those. I'm not going to use all of them at all times, but I like to have them at the ready if I need them. The order of execution of the tasks do not matter. You can do in any order you want. However, some tasks depend on others. for example, the Ansible Vault ones. And of course, if there's a task to set up, to install software, you have to install it before you can use it, which is kind of quite obvious, right? So you know what I mean. You can use any Ansible command you wish, Ansible Playbook, Ansible Navigator, for example. You can use either one. Just make sure that everything works as they requested. Throughout this video series, I'm going to use both because sometimes I like to use one, sometimes I like to use the other. It doesn't really matter. This is an approximation of the real exam. Okay, this is the closest I can get to the real exam to get you prepped. Make sure you have your materials studied, and make sure you are comfortable with the thing you are going to pass to be tested. Don't expect to go throughout this video series and by magic you just pass. Now you need to know your stuff, you need to know your materials. This is just for you to get on the right mindset, and I hope you pass. That's why we have this community of the big beautiful bastards. It's to get people ready to pass the exam as comfortable as they can, and to help each other out. Okay, this is not for us to cheat. This is just for us to help each other out. That's the goal here. And that's the goal, to build a community all about people helping each other out, pointing out defects, pointing out best practices, and pointing out better ways to study and to do our jobs. All right, that's the main goal. Okay, so let's go through the first page of my PDF here. Just it's basically I said most of what is here, but let's do it anyways. So possible question and answers. Please experiment before prep and study are the main tools, which is again prep and study. This is what we're going to use here throughout this video series. 6 virtual machines. One is a workstation, is control host, and several managed hosts. You can set up this at what you prefer, your preference. You can go get away with one control host and one managed host. It will depends how you build your playbooks. You can get away with fewer. I don't going to use all of them. I'm going to use mainly A, B, and C, but I like to have the other ones at the ready. Okay, so just one side note. So if there are special configurations that needed to be done to get closer at the control host or the managed host, I will specify that throughout the video series. But the control host is just a simple. I'm going to use Rocky here. I'm not going to use Red Hat machines. I'm going to point out the differences if there are any to point out. My control host. It's a very simple workstation machine. It has the GUI installed, but I'm not going to use it for. I just like to have the GUI there if I need it, but I'm not going to use it probably. And server A throughout server E, they are just kind of bare minimal installs. Just the what they call it. What is the minimal installation? It's a profile, and that's good, plenty good. Exception being server A. Server A is going to have an extra storage hard drive with a specific volume group created there, just to adapt it for the volume group task. But I will explain that when you get there. Okay, we are fine. You are good to go. When you get there, I'll explain that further. All right. So I'm going to use server A, B, and C for the ease of test. Blah 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 blah. Okay, internet repos are fine. I'm not going to use any my custom repos for install software. Internet repos are fine for the prep. In the exam, they will point out which repos you need to use. So if you are prepping, internet repos are just fine and dandy. They are good. I'm going to use internet repos. I did not set up any special repo for the exam. I could have had, but I didn't. I know it's not needed. Of course, in the exam, we just follow along the instructions. But for prep, you don't need to use any special repos. I needed a couple of files I just pulled from the internet and put it locally. But throughout the exam, real exam, you should actually use the ones I recommend, and they also point out this. I'm going to use Classroom, Materials, and a couple more, just because they match the names using throughout the official training. So just to be a little bit accurate, just that. These SSH keys should be already set up. So I'm going to use a DevOps user. So SSH should be able, my DevOps user on my workstation can SSH to my DevOps users in the managed hosts without any notification. So have that prepped beforehand. So my DevOps user on the workstation can SSH into my managed hosts with no password to SSH. Get that ready, set up and ready before you start. Of course, in the exam, that should be already set up for you. I have some adaptations. This is not one-to-one, just to make it work and be more so I can be more effective teaching you. So just that, they are just adaptations, so it's better for me to teach you. But in the exam, they are almost one-to-one. Ansible should be installed on workstation. I'm going to make a second video after this one before we do actually this video series about the getting things set up on a RHEL system, on a Rocky system. And there are slight differences, but they are not that bad. I recommend, if you don't have, use this one, but I will show you how it's done. I put here student account, but it's a mistake. It's not a student account, it's a DevOps account. So let me fix that. They are both. They will probably have this the DevOps and student accounts at the ready for you. Here I'm going to use mostly the DevOps. So basically, in a nutshell, the users that you're going to need to use, they're already there, and the passwords I'll told you. So don't need to create any users except if you have any specific use for that. Okay. Yeah, there we go. So use the DevOps. I'm already present. I just told you that passwords are present and set up, and they tell you all the details. So don't worry about that. So all the machines here, for example, here are just examples. Okay, they're just placeholders. They are taken from the official training. So if you have taken the official training, you feel right at home with these names. Throughout the exam, I don't guarantee that they're going to use these exact names, but you will feel very familiar with all of this. That's why I use these names. Take care with copy pasting. Triple check. So if you are copy pasting stuff on the exam or here in the trap on a prep, make sure that you triple check stuff, because oftentimes copy pasting will just screw up the indentation, and it will screw up. Sometimes commas are not commas, they look like commas but they're not commas, and some magical spaces appear, and sometimes underscores disappear. So be careful when you paste, and make sure that everything looks fine after you paste, and you should fix that. And yeah, this is going to consume all the 4 hours of the exam, but you don't have to have full marks. You don't have to have 300 points to pass. So if you scan the exam and you see that there are a couple of questions that you don't feel comfortable with, just leave them to the end. If they're not interdependent, of course, leave them to the end. And if you do the most, you'll pass, because it's 70% roundabout. So you can leave a couple behind if you don't feel comfortable, or leave behind a couple that you think that there are a couple of questions, tasks that are very lengthy. So you can leave those to the end, because those lengthy tasks are not dependent. Nothing depends on those. So those depend on something shorter to do, but those big ones, nothing depends on those big ones. So leave those ones to the end. Do the short ones, do the quote-unquote easy ones, and you already have plenty of marks to pass. All the rest are kind of bonuses that you can just make sure you are using. So this is the intro. Some people don't like these intro videos. Some people do. I like to do them anyways. It's my obligation to do so. So this is video 0 of the RH294 video series. It's going to be a long one. Get ready, get your coffee ready, and I'll see you there. Like, subscribe, and comment. It helps, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers, guys.